Hey, hello. Hope you are doing well. I just want to share this ancestor message that more like a revelation that I got this week. First of all, I have been feeling the nudge and the urge to have a spiritual bath. And when I say a spiritual bath, I'm not talking about like the cutesy herbs that people boil and pour over the head, or using a specific concoction to bathe with in the tub. I'm talking about old indigenous. This is the first way that I was taught, which is to catch rainwater. Get outside, do not have any head covering or anything on, catch your rainwater right over your head. And when you do it in a method of prayer, right? You do it with the expectation of being cleansed, right? And so if you really try and do something powerful and really get a breakthrough, catch a thunderstorm. But I just kept having this craving for it, and there wasn't any rain really happening, or I would be inside doing something and not able to go out, or if I went out it would like stop or something. And this week one of my friends invited me to go to this like waterfall area or something like that, and I was like, all right, I'll go. And when we got there, it was muddy. So because it did rain the night before, it was muddy, but there was no expectation of rain to happen. We get in there, and let me tell you, it was so beautiful, so beautiful. I took all the pictures with my Canon camera, actually, not my phone. So I don't know, maybe I'll make like a scrap video. I'm trying to teach myself video editing, but that's beyond the point. Anyway, we get out there and I'm just thinking like, oh God, don't let me slip, because it was so muddy. And there was like rock climbing involved in order to get to this glass bridge and to get to the opposite direction. There's like all these obstacles and all this like rock things to go through, all this hiking. So I ended up grabbing like a fallen branch or whatever to use as a walking stick. Thank you very much. And I decided that, like, we're doing this, right? And in the middle of me making this decision and picking this stick up, all of a sudden it began to pour. And I mean, like, I couldn't see straight pour. I had to put my camera. At first I thought it was going to be like a little quick flash storm. So I put my camera under my jacket to keep it from getting water on the lens, and it started like drenching. So I got like under one of the caves and ended up putting the camera back in the camera bag. And I couldn't like take any more pictures, but I realized like I wasn't there to speculate. I was there to be cleansed. And it was the most beautiful experience, because there is no greater gift on this planet than Mother Earth. Oh my God. And just knowing that it was downpouring because I had the intention of being cleansed in nature, right? I felt like it was happening just for me, and I just began to thank God for the obstacles falling out of my way, and for the clarity of mind, for a renewal of health, for a renewal of spirit. And I haven't like voiced it enough, is I've really been stuck in this mindset of grief over everything that I've lost over the past few years, and not in enough joy for what I have gained. And that's because what I gained is not necessarily what I was looking to gain. But anyway, I experienced that, and I was drenched. Like, my hair was dripping, clothes wet, my shoes were soggy. I ended up having to like change everything. That's how much of a cleanse we got, okay? It was heavy rainfall, and just a beautiful experience. But as I'm praying and thanking, this message came through from the ancestors, and this is what I wanted to share. Sorry I took too long to get to it, but the message was my bad. I'm trying to like use the steering wheel because the mount is kind of far. Whatever. And sometimes like the phone jumps off the mount. But anyway, the message was, what did you think we were doing? This generation is out here with this, unnamed spirituality without rules and regulations because they don't like the restriction of religion. But what the ancestors said to me is, what did you think we were doing when we were uniting together in God's house? What did you think we were doing when we were pooling our money together and paying tithes? What is it that you thought we were doing when we praise, when we worship, when we dance, when we're shouting and saying hallelujah and giving God thanks? When we do a glory, what did you think we were doing? You think you have some kind of understanding what spirituality is, and you forget the basics. It's fine to study. It's fine to get into metaphysics, but there was a reason we knew how to shake things. We knew how to move things in our direction because we knew how to move. What they're saying about knowing how to move is our generation thinks that meditation is only sitting still. And they're like, no, meditation is movement. It's always been movement. Get up. Get up. Shake it off. There's a reason why we danced around the church. Shake it off. There's a reason why we clap our hands. Shake it off. Don't you know you have chakras in your hands that hold just as much energy as the 7 major chakras that everybody else teaches about? You got chakras all throughout your body. There's a reason why we were barefoot on the ground dancing. There's a reason why we beat out drums. This is all indigenous cultures. There's a reason why we beat out drums. What did you think we were doing? Putting on a show? And I have to say that recently, I have been feeling like I want to listen to worship music. Like I just want to worship. And I didn't realize that worship is its own form of meditation. It's its own form of meditation. When you are praising and worshiping, regardless of who you singing that song to, you are focusing only on good. You are focusing only on elevation. You're not focusing on the bad things that are going on, the circumstances that you can't really, deal with, that you don't have the power to deal with at this moment in time in your life. I just kept hearing, what did you think we were doing? You thought you knew something. What did you think we were doing? If you've been debating and having these urges, and I'm saying this because I kind of see there's a connectivity of it across social media. The other day I saw a girl post that she had a desire to go outside in the rain and to just lay down on the sidewalk, and she said that she just decided to forget what anybody thought of her. She walked off her porch, took her shoes off, and just laid on the sidewalk and caught the rain. And I'm telling you, there is a revival happening. And it doesn't look like what we think it's supposed to look like. There's a spiritual revival going on. And it's causing us to crave things that sometimes we can't explain. It's causing us to want to cleanse in ways that we haven't seen other people cleansing. We want to do things that aren't necessarily popular, that everybody else, spiritually isn't necessarily doing, but we have the urge to do it. We have the urge to praise. We have the urge to dance. We have the urge to sing and worship and be in communion with one another. What did you think we were doing when we united? It didn't have anything to do with the Bible saying where 3 or more are in his presence, there in the midst am I. It doesn't have anything to do with that. We already knew before anybody put it in a book. We already knew that the chakras are, that, you know, these rotating energy centers all throughout our body, not just the big ones, but the small ones too. And it's necessary to stomp your feet on the ground, to dance, to shake that energy out. It's necessary to clap your hands. It's necessary to make noise. Ooh, I just remember something. One of them said, what did you think we were making noise for? Why you think we hollering and screaming out? The devil ain't scared of silence. The devil ain't scared of silence. If something's coming to attack you, you make noise. You make noise. And that's what we were doing. That's what we were doing when we clapped our hands. That's what we're doing when we were playing tambourines. That's what we're doing when we're making drum. We're making war. I just had to get that out my spirit and share it, because I feel like we have a tendency as human beings to want to rationalize everything that we do. The way was already set before us. We don't have to have a reason. We don't have to have an explanation for everything. Sometimes you need to just move. Sometimes you need to just do. And you just need to understand that spirit before all. We are spirit beings coming. We're spirit beings. Well, I can't get my words out. But we're spirit beings having a human experience. And the spirit is telling the human what it should be doing during this experience in order to heal it, in order to truly save it, in order to elevate it, in order to relieve you. Sometimes our pain and suffering comes from us holding it in. It's all fine and dandy to go to yoga class and to stretch and to sit in silence and meditate. All those things, it's all fine and dandy to do. But sometimes you gotta dance. Sometimes you gotta be barefoot. Sometimes you gotta let it rain on your head, literally. Sometimes you gotta play the tambourine. Sometimes you gotta get in worship. Sometimes you gotta get in prayer. And it really reminded me back when I was a kid, and the elders of the church would have intercessory prayer at least once a month. What did you think we were doing? Don't we have a full moon every month? What did you think we were doing when we gathered once a month to sit and pray together overnight? Tuh. My mind was like, when I tell you, I've really been thinking about that scripture. Train a child up in the way that he should go, and when he's older, he would never depart from it, or something like that. And it's so freaking true. I'm not saying that everything that we learned was perfect, right? Everything that we learned wasn't always, realistic, right? But damn, what did you think they were doing? That's the message. That is the message. Please, if you know, do better. Be blessed.